Matchbox by Asha Purna Devi. I always compare women to matchboxes. Why? Because of the way matchboxes are. Even though they have enough gunpowder to set 100 lankas aflame, they sit around meek and innocent in the kitchen, in the pantry, in the bedroom, here, there, anywhere. Women too are exactly the same. You want an example? Then look carefully at that enormous three-story house in front of us. Sunday morning, the watchman has come and is waiting. Moments before handing over a heap of Ajay's dirty clothes to the watchman, Nomida goes through the pockets one last time and discovers the letter. A twisted, crumpled envelope with its mouth torn, and on the envelope, Nomita's name. A flame goes up dope in all Nomida's nerves and veins. She drops the clothes to her hand and sits on the bed to open the letter. The first thing she looks at it is the date. Going by the date, the letter must have come about 3 days earlier. She turns over the envelope and matches the postmark to the date, and then that too bears the same witness. Yes, the letter came 3 days ago. Ajit has opened it and read it, then crumpled it and twisted it and dropped into his pocket and left it there. Hasn't felt the need to mention it even once to Nomita. The flame that had gone up top now burns steadily, hissing, sounding its notes on each of her mind string. Because of this incident, it's not a casual oversight, it's deliberate. Ajay's nature is exactly like that. Somehow, he has gained possession of the key to the letterbox, fishing it through the gaps among the 52 hands of his joint family. And whenever there's a letter with Nobita's name on the envelope, he opens and reads it first, and only then does he give it to her. It's possible that oftentimes he doesn't give it to her at all. At least that's a suspicion that has taken deep root in Nomita's mind. Even though to this lady, Ajit cannot truthfully make the claim that he has been able to discover any letter in the slightest degree suspicious. Still, this ugly habit of his won't go. Not with Nomita's anger, not with her taking offense, not with bitter reproaches, her trying to shame him, sarcasm, not with anything. If she mentions it, first he tries to laugh it away, and if laughter doesn't get him out of the deep water, he scolds her. She sits perfectly still for a minute and reads the letter through. It's nothing much, a letter from Nomita's mother. It's her standard speech. The good woman has once again placed on the record the news of her various hardship and complaints getting worse, misfortune upon misfortune. Her daughter is a queen, her son-in-law high-minded, large-hearted, therefore, etc. An indigent widow without husband or son, she was successful in consigning her daughter to a wealthy family's house on the strength of looks alone. But the good lady has never stopped talking credit at the slightest opportunity for her skill in the matter, and she has been finding such opportunities all along. Whenever Ajay sees a new letter from Nomita's mother, he just smiles derisively and says,
Why bother to read that? I will go and fill out a money order form.
Nomita's head hangs low with the shame and the insult of it. So some time ago, out of anger and grief, Nomita forbade her mother from writing to her on postcards. So this was what the letter came in envelopes too. Suddenly, Nomida's flamed into anger at her mother. Why does she keep on begging like this? Why won't she let Nomida keep her self-respect, her dignity? No, this time she will write and tell her mother clearly, I can't do any more. Don't hope for anything from me. Right then, Ajit steps into the room after finishing his leisurely Sunday bath. Nomida's sharp indignation at the insult simmering all this while seems to want to dash itself violently against him. Nomida roars out, when did this letter arrive? Ajit glances at her obliquely, estimating the magnitude of this error. Another handful of cash for this, he had thought, and decided not to give the letter to Nomida. He was going to tear it up and throw it away. He has made a big mistake. Not that Ajit is going to feel abashed about that. As though trying hard to remember, he says,
Letter? What letter? Oh, yes, indeed. There was a letter from your mother. I just hadn't got around to give it to you.
why hadn't you got around to it? Why? Answer me. Why hadn't you got around to me?
What a nuisance.
Ajit says,
I had forgotten. Why else?
liar. Nomida hisses like a snake.
Why are you saying whatever comes to your mouth? Don't people forget?
No, they don't. Why did you open my letter?
What if I opened it? My own wife's letter?
Be quiet, I tell you. For what reason should you open my letters? Haven't I told you 1,000 times not to?
If you are forbidding it, then it's a definite something. Shouldn't I make sure that no one's passing you love letters in secret?
Stop it! What a common vulgar man you are! After this, it's not possible for Ajit to smile his fake smile any longer. Now, he too picks up the poisoned knife. He says,
Is that so? Those who whine day and night and hold out their palm to their son-in-law, they are the high-class people. A dung picker's daughter becomes a queen.
and so. Shut up, Nomida else. Their room is on the third floor. That's a blessing. Otherwise, with that scream, everyone would have come to look.
Shut up.
Ajit roars out.
What shut up? I will do what I want, what I please. What will you do? Can you do anything?
I can't do anything. Almost panting, Nomida pronounces each word clearly. You want to see if I can do anything. And immediately she does something that's astonishing. She grabs Ajit's matchbox that's lying near the cigarettes on the table and she lights a matchstick and touches it to her sari. Instantly it flares up the very fine angle of a wealthy wife's sari. The very next instant, Ajit,
Have you gone mad?
he says, and jumps to her side and grabs a burning patch and slaps it between his hands and puts out the fire. And to tell the truth, now he is a little afraid. He looks fearfully at Nomida's face, sees a fire burning there, bright, blazing red. He doesn't have the courage to put out that fire by slapping it between his hands, so he tries to pour water on it. With great difficulty, he attempts to speak normally.
You lose all common sense when you get angry, don't you? A woman and such anger? Oof!
Who knows what Nomida would have said? But right then, her niece Rini steps into the room. Immediately, she says piercingly, So, Kurtima, how much longer does the washerman have to wait? If you don't want to give him any of your clothes, at least tell him that. For a second or two, Nomida is still perhaps recalling the washerman's face, waiting for her downstairs. Then she picks up the dirty clothes and starts sorting them. She says in a calm tone, Go tell him I'm coming. I'm bringing the clothes. Nomida speaks her mind. So no one attacks her outright to her face. They only pinch her with the sharp words. Her second sister-in-law is almost exhausted with work this morning, and seeing her, she puts a twisted smile on her sweat-streaked face and says, Well, that's something at least. You finally decided to come down from upstairs. Baba, there's no good or bad time for you. You find the smallest excuse is to go into your room and get cozy with your husband. Does a love talk never gets old? Nomida looks around once to get a sense of the atmosphere, sees the hurly-burly of the morning, sees the forest of people on either side. Her voice must not tremble, so she too smiles a small smile and says in an extremely soft voice, "Oh, it's nothing like that. You should come and peek in sometime. Our talk is all angry talk. Do you know?" Major wife laughs hoo hoo and says, "Stop it now, wife. Don't cover up the forbidden fish with your pie spinach. We haven't been raised on donkey grass. Why do we need to peek in? What you are showing us right in front of our eyes 24 hours a day." Nomida laughs, a laugh that can bring an attractive flush into a white face. After laughing that laugh, she says, "Go on, you say the naughtiest things." The busy borrow wife runs up. "Have you chopped the vegetables yet? Or are you just telling stories?" And suddenly she stops and starts. "What's that? What's the unlucky thing now, wife? How did you burn your ankle that way?" Nomida too starts, but only for a moment. The next instant, she folds the angel back quickly and says, laughing, "Oh, don't remind me. It's exactly what you keep warning me about. I didn't listen. And see what happened? I used my ankle to lift a hot pot of water off the stove, and that did it." Nomida pulls a basket of potatoes towards herself and sits down to peel potatoes, and in her mind she keeps thinking about how she might be able secretly to send her mother a few rupees. She can't really write to her, "I can't do anything more, don't hope for anything from me." Over there, the entire village knows Nomida as a queen. Nomida's husband is high-minded, large-hearted. This is precisely why I compare women to matchboxes. Even when they have the materials within themselves to set off many raging fires, they never flare up and burn away the mask of men's high-mindedness, their large-heartedness. They don't burn away their own colorful shells. They won't burn them, the men knew this too. That's why they leave them scattered so carelessly in the kitchen, in the pantry, in the bedroom, here, there, anywhere, quite without fear. They put them in their pockets. Thank you very much.